Good morning. My name is Lillian Govis, Buncombe County Director of Communications and Public Engagement. This is your community briefing for Wednesday, February 12th. At the top of many folks' mind is the weather, and we have Ryan Cole, Assistant Director of Buncombe County Emergency Management, here to give an update on what we're seeing. We're happy to report that we're not under a flood watch, but with the change in the geomorphology and debris from Helene, we are certainly seeing some nuisance flooding, which anyone who drives on Old 70 can confirm. Duke Energy wanted to be here with us today, but they are doing active storm response, so we're passing along this information on their behalf. Duke Energy is currently executing its detailed storm response plan and is responding to outages now, most of which are in the Spruce Pine area. Overnight, Buncombe County had about 1,400 customers without power, almost all in the Black Mountain area. But as of 10:40 a.m., the county is now down to 888 customers impacted. Duke's crews are out making repairs this morning and will continue until all customers are restored. In any storm like this, we have power outages, not just from trees coming down onto lines, but from vehicles hydroplaning off the road and hitting power poles. Please drive with caution. And if you see utility crews out making repairs, just slow down and give them a wide berth like you do with police and other first responders. If your power is out, visit duke-energy.com/outages to report the outage and for comprehensive safety tips during and after severe weather. You can also use the Duke Energy mobile app, text OUT to 57801 or call 1-800-POWER-ON, which is 1-800-769-3766. So of course, Wednesday is trash day in Swannanoa and unincorporated Black Mountain. And with the same downed trees causing power outages, FCC environmental trucks are also running into roadways they can't access, and power crews working to make these important restorations. FCC staff is doing everything they can to get these routes serviced today, and if they can't make it, they'll send messages out to customers with updates. With those power outages in Black Mountain, remember our community care station at the Owen Pool is available from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekends. Since November, we've kept that station at Owen Pool open at all times when temperatures are below 32 degrees, so our neighbors have a place where they can get warm. Our other 3 community care stations at the Fairview Ingalls, Morgan Hill Baptist Church on Barnardsville Highway, and Bethel United Methodist Church on Riceville Road are open 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. daily. Remember, important information about this weather system is sent out through our direct messaging system, BC Alerts. So we encourage you to sign up by texting BC Alerts to 99411 or just go to buncombecounty.org/code-red. So today, Avril won't be joining us, but we do have Dave Connolly from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers back to talk about more debris collection. And Deborah Campbell, Asheville City Manager, also will provide updates on city debris collection and other operations. We're also really excited to have Mike Tanner from the American Red Cross with information on the financial support they continue to provide to survivors whose homes were severely damaged or lost in the storm. If you want to meet Mike and his team in person, we hope you'll come to our Recovery Resource Series events, which kick off Thursday, tomorrow in Barnardsville. And if you are a resident in need of assistance after the storm, including getting heating assistance, these Recovery Resource events will be where you want to go. Tomorrow, we'll be at the Barnardsville Fire Station at 100 Dillingham Road, and you can drop in anytime between 5 and 7 p.m. to meet with representatives from FEMA, the Small Business Administration, private property debris removal. The Legal Aid of North Carolina will be providing free legal counsel, and other organizations will be there to help with your recovery. We'll also have several county departments there, including libraries, printing library cards, the Register of Deeds providing birth certificates in case you lost yours in the storm. Public Health will be there providing free vaccines and wellness checks and more. So again, first resource event is tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Barnersville Fire Station. So if you're in that area, we hope you'll drop by. We have several other dates and locations, so residents have the opportunity to attend the one that's most convenient. We know that Barnersville, the footprint there is a little bit smaller, but on Thursday, February 20th, we'll be at the Owen High School cafeteria from 5 to 7 p.m. On Tuesday, February 25th, we'll be at the Reynolds High School cafeteria from 5 to 7 p.m. And then we'll finish up on Thursday, February 27th at the Leicester Community Center from 5 to 7 p.m. As we head into the 5th month of recovery from the storm, we want to remind you that the first step in your individual recovery should be letting FEMA know about your losses and needs at disasterassistance.org by calling 1-800-621-3362, or you can also visit one of our 2 disaster recovery centers in Buncombe County, one at Fairview Library and one at Weaverville Town Hall. Those are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays. You have until March 8th to apply for disaster assistance with FEMA. At this point, more than half of the households in Buncombe County have registered with FEMA and received funds. FEMA has distributed more than $117 million in assistance, and that number is growing. This number is made up of more than $35 million in housing assistance, including money for repairs or replacements, rental assistance, lodging expenses, hotel stays, direct leases, and mobile homes. It also includes more than $81 million in other needs assistance, which includes personal property, transportation, emergency supplies, displacement funds, and more. After you apply with FEMA, you can also get money for lost wages by applying to the Disaster Unemployment Assistance. This program is open to Buncombe County residents who lost work due to the storm, including business owners. The deadline for this was also extended to March 10th, and you can apply for that at des.nc.gov. Again, that's des.nc.gov. If you need help navigating FEMA or disaster unemployment assistance, or you want to know more about other recovery programs that you may qualify for based on your unique situation, the 3rd step in your journey should be to register for the North Carolina Disaster Case Management Program. This is a resource that our state partners have activated for any resident who is impacted by Helene. It pairs you with a dedicated case manager who serves as your go-to guide for recovery processes. So this is like your concierge for recovery. So they'll help create personalized recovery plans to connect you with all of the available local, state, and federal resources. And your case manager will be with you every single step of the way. To get started, call 844-746-2326 or complete the North Carolina Disaster Case Management Intake Survey, which is not a very glamorous name, but does get you good help at buncombeready.org. We mentioned that FEMA has paid more than $117 million directly to Buncombe County residents, and this number does not include what FEMA has done to help us with our storm debris cleanup. If you follow us on social media, and I hope you do, you may have seen the videos that we shared last week of crews in the water, removing all sorts of debris from trees to a semi-truck out of some of our most highly impacted areas, including Swannanoa. This work was able to start thanks to the collaboration between county and city staff, North Carolina Emergency Management, FEMA, who tasks the Army Corps of Engineers, and then the Army Corps of Engineers hires its contractor, who in this case is Ash Britt, for both public right-of-way and our waterways. Months of work went on to survey and identify critical areas, identify entry points, get approvals, and more. While waterways started last week, crews have been out in the community for months collecting debris from the public right-of-way, and they are close to hitting the 1 million mark for cubic yard collection in Buncombe County, the city of Asheville, and the town of Black Mountain. Private property debris removal is another big piece of debris removal after Helene. So far, our contractor, Tetra Tech, has collected more than 2,800 applications from property owners who are unable to move their debris to the public right-of-way. Of these, more than 1,300 inspections have been completed, 93 properties have cleanup in progress, and 44 have already had that private property debris removal completed. Folks have asked, what takes so long to get private property debris removal gone? Beyond the legal access requirements, the work is pretty complicated, as you can see in this video with the creative engineering that they're using to get that debris off of that property with a pretty steep hill. This work will ramp up. The job is being done in batches. You can still apply for private property debris removal, as applications will close likely at the end of April. We have 4 intake centers open at the Fairview Library, Black Mountain Library, Swannanoa Fire Rescue, the Beatree Substation, not the one in Beacon Village, and Barnardsville Fire Station. You can also learn more or apply online by visiting buncombeready.org. A reminder, if you need access to free, healthy food, you can visit our community engagement markets. In addition to food, these markets provide medical services when available and information about Helene recovery, mortgage, rental, and weatherization assistance. One feature that we like about our markets is that you can shop for free by browsing and picking the food that you want to take home. There is a market today at Pisgah View Apartments starting at 3 p.m. and on Friday at the Grove Street Community Center starting at noon. Visit buncombecounty.org/community engagement for a full list of these market dates. Finally, we have shared a lot of information today, and that can sometimes be overwhelming to navigate. This is why we created a new website where you can find all of the information that we've shared today and more. Visit engage.buncombecounty.org/Buncombe Recovers, where you can find progress updates, recovery resources, information on debris cleanup, rebuilding efforts, and disaster assistance program. Think of it as your one-stop shop for all things recovery. And of course, if you prefer to talk to someone or have questions, our One Buncombe call center is available at 828-250-6100. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. With that, I will ask Ryan Cole, our Assistant Director for Emergency Management in Buncombe County, to come give us an update on where we are with the storm.
Thank you. Good morning. We have been out in the area. Luckily, with the Weather Service, we has downgraded how much rainfall that we were having from the original predictions, and now we're down to about 2 to 3 inches total for the entire event. We do have a lull that's going on today with the storm. We are anticipating some heavier rains from 3 o'clock until midnight tonight, and so we want everybody to be cautious, especially during the times that we are traveling home, with the extra rainfall that's going to be out there that might be in the roadways and puddling up. As everyone is aware, we have a very fragile infrastructure with some roads that have been built back and may have some pooling in those roadways. And we also have some of the areas where we have some trees that might not be stable from the storm that may have not have fallen yet, that could still fall whenever this occurs. So we want everyone to have an extreme heightened situational awareness as they're going around. This morning, as I journeyed through the county, we had frosted trees in our eastern area, and we had some down power lines due to some trees falling in the Black Mountain area. We've also had some other locations where we have seen some mud in the roadway from some small slides that have come down where we had some loose dirt. As we see this rainfall coming in, where there's fissures in the ground, it may move some of that dirt down, and we want everybody to continue, again, to be very much aware of that. We could have some nuisance flooding, and we could have some of those areas that might flood that we were not aware of before. One of the things that you need to be extremely aware of is, as it may appear that there's only a couple of inches of water that's in the roadway due to the change in the landscape of the roadways, there might be several inches of water in the roadway, and it only takes about 6 inches of moving water to move a car off of the tires and drift down the stream. So please turn around and don't drown if you have if you're in water, and take a different alternative route. Our rescue crews, we have a USAR team that is activated and working. They started last night at 7 o'clock, along with the City of Asheville's Swiftwater Rescue Team, in the event that we do have some flooding areas that we need to respond out to. However, we don't really want them to meet you in these circumstances. So please be very mindful of your surroundings and what you're doing, and be cautious of that. As we have additional information, we want to remind everyone that you can always get emergency alerts from BC Alert, texting BC Alert to 99411. That's 99411, so that we can keep you updated with the emergencies going on in our community. Thank you.
I know a question that our media will want to ask is, has that Swiftwater rescue team had to make any rescues? And the answer is no, none have been performed at this time, and we want to keep it that way. Next, we will turn things over to Mike Tanner with the American Red Cross to give us an exciting update about more financial assistance.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I've never been called exciting update, but thanks for that. I appreciate it. There are some exciting things to talk about, quite honestly. Good morning. There's a lot going on. As most of y'all know, we were very fortunate with some just wonderful, generous donations from across the country for Western North Carolina. Donations are still coming in, and for Red Cross, it's allowing us to continue our financial assistance, as well as take the next level, maybe even a third phase in financial assistance, and of course our grants program. So I want to give you just a quick update on where we are. For those of you who had major damage or destroyed homes and did sign up for our immediate assistance, our individual assistance, you'll notice at the end of January, we reached back out to you for our next round of financial assistance, again, for major damage or destroyed. If you did not sign up originally, it's still time. There's still time for you to sign up. So please get in touch with us either via 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can go to redcross.org/HeleneAid. And of course, as was mentioned earlier, we are going to be at all the Buncombe County resource centers. And in addition to that, we're also going to locations where we know there is a tremendous amount of major damage and destroyed homes due to our damage assessment. So as mentioned before, we were in Barnardsville last week when we first started, and we've slowly made our way around Buncombe, as well as at our chapter office. We're now moving into Rutherford, McDowell, Haywood. We want to hit everybody, but we are going to be at your resource centers. And then again, we're going to finalize our financial assistance push for our second phase at the YMCA right there off of Long Shoals. And that'll be on we'll be there from the 17th to the 18th. So if you haven't had the opportunity to sign up and feel like you've had the damage, please get in touch with us. Either show up in person or call us at 1-800 or via the web. The other things I wanted to let you know about is we're working with Buncombe County's long-term recovery groups. So we're helping them form up. Of course, we have a tremendous amount of experience doing this over our experience across the U.S. A lot of case management, a lot of unmet needs, household needs. So those subcommittees are all forming up. Buncombe County is doing a wonderful job pulling together their long-term recovery group. So again, come to the resource fairs, hear more about that, get signed up. And if you're in a nonprofit or know of some nonprofits, please y'all come to the table. And as you know, there's a lot of activity going on. Unfortunately, there have been some significant multifamily fires here in Buncombe County and in Cherokee. Please be careful. If you need a smoke alarm, give us a call. We'll get with you and your local fire department and make sure you get that. And as we've been working with the county with supplies, warming centers, shelters if we need it. So again, lean on your county. We'll be there to support them. And we look forward to seeing you at one of the recovery series coming up soon. But again, if you need anything at all, just call us at 1-800-RED-CROSS or go to our website, redcross.org, and hit that Helene relief button. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Dave Connolly is back.
Okay, good morning. Thank you, Lillian. Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update to our efforts here across all the impacted counties. Our main areas that we're focused on, obviously, has been debris removal. We're calling this day 140 for the Corps of Engineers on the ground. The three areas, the target areas of debris removal fall into kind of three categories for us. That's right-of-way debris, waterway debris, and then private property debris removal. So to date, we have basically removed, and just with waterway and right-of-way, we've removed what we're calling about 9.5 pro stadiums worth of debris, just the Corps of Engineers debris that we've been tasked by FEMA to remove. So if you go to each area, overall, we're working in 7 counties and 3 cities just for right-of-way debris. We've removed about 1.1 million cubic yards of debris. So that puts us at about halfway through with the right-of-way debris mission. Now, we have target dates for each of these areas. Target date for right-of-way debris is 1 April. That's a target date, and that could change. All these dates can change, all these numbers that I brief and talk about today. So if you're looking at the chart that's on the screen, the right-hand corner only depicts right-of-way and waterway. And private property debris removal right now is kind of calculated by parcels that we've been tasked with. So just keep that in mind. So right-of-way debris, overall, about 56%. Within Buncombe County alone, probably about 650,000 cubic yards of debris have been removed, about 57% here in the county. And then if you move down to water, as you know, waterway debris just kicked off 1 February, and already to date, across the 12 counties and 3 cities that we're operating in, we've removed over 109,000 cubic yards of debris. So we're up sitting around 14% or so, and that's only since 1 February. Now, obviously, things like we've talked about today, the weather, things do slow us down. So like today, if there's a safety impact or if there's a safety issue, the water rising, whatever the case may be, we may have to pull those pieces of equipment out of the water. However, they've been stockpiling in some of these areas they've been working in. So as they stockpile, if the trucks are able to run, they'll keep running and move that debris on to the temporary debris sites. But again, the 1 June, that's the target date. And then, of course, we got private property debris removal overall in the 5 counties and 3 cities that we're working in. We've contracted for over 868 of those. There's plenty more packets being processed right now. In progress, we've got about 57 parcels in progress, and it's 47 alone just here in Buncombe County. And then we've completed 24 of those. So overall debris, we're sitting still, but again, numbers change. Sometimes we get our tasks increase, so the percentages may change. Daily, these numbers will change. About every day, about 10:30, I'll get a new graphic that we'll publish on our website and kick out to the counties and anybody else who may need to track it. But really, that's all I wanted to update you on. I'll just be standing by later for questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. And while he was talking, we had the video up from the barge that's currently working in the French Broad right now, which is pretty neat to see it doing its thing. Next, we will hear from Asheville City Manager Deborah Campbell with an update on debris and operations on their end.
Thank you, Lillian, and good morning. As noted, my name is Deborah Campbell and I serve as the manager for the city of Asheville. As usual, I want to start by thanking everyone in the community for your continued support and your ongoing efforts to contribute to our community's recovery from Tropical Storm Helene. Also, as noted, we are on day 140 of our emergency response and recovery efforts. Today, I'm going to fly solo. However, I do have Jess Foster here from our Solid Waste and Sanitation Division and in Public Works Department that will help out if there are any additional questions regarding some of the storm debris removal efforts. So I will start with an update on storm debris and then close out with upcoming community engagement opportunities. Over 345,835 cubic yards of storm debris and 58,000 tons of mud and silt have been collected from the right-of-way and public properties across the city of Asheville. I'm pleased to report that the removal of storm debris from Asheville's waterways, as was noted, began on February the 1st, 2025. These efforts are underway in the French Broad River, the River Arts District, and the Swananoa River near Azalea Park. The city will continue to coordinate waterway debris removal with Buncombe County and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. For updates on waterway debris removal efforts, continue to check the city's website or contact the One Buncombe hotline at 828-250-6100. Work is also underway within city limits to remove titled property damaged by Helene. In September 2024 and October 2024, search and rescue teams documented 987 vehicles and vessels impacted by the storm within the city of Asheville. This included titled properties such as vehicles, boats, campers, and trailers. There are currently approximately 80 vehicles still located in the waterways. Debris contractors will be engaged to retrieve and document these vehicles and vessels. Once retrieved, these vehicles will be transported to contracted towing facilities or a central holding location, and a formal notification process will be carried out in compliance with legal requirements. In terms of public property, storm debris collection in city parks continues to move forward. Asheville Parks and Recreation staff are closely following the progress of storm debris removal at Riverside Cemetery. The removal of dangerous hanging limbs and downed trees should be complete in the next week. While this is a significant milestone, there are still several weeks before the cemetery will reopen, as archaeological inspections and stump removal must still take place before we can safely welcome back visitors. Asheville Parks and Recreation will share updates on the City of Asheville's website as storm debris removal is completed at Riverside Cemetery and at other parks. Storm debris collection has also begun at the Asheville Municipal Golf Course. Crews have started to collect debris that floated onto the course during the storm and will ramp up operations to remove mud and silt and uprooted trees within the next few weeks. Please note, this effort is solely for debris collection and does not, I repeat, does not indicate a storm debris processing site is being activated at this location. Additionally, utility companies will be working to repair utility connections along Swananoa River Road, which may begin during the same time frame as storm debris collection is underway on the Muni Golf Course. Community members who would like to stay up to date on storm debris removal efforts can subscribe to updates by visiting the Asheville Recovers Engagement Hub site at www.publicinput.com/Asheville Recovers. I'll wrap up now with just a few comments about community engagement invitations. First, as I shared last week, the city is excited to partner with the Asheville Area Chamber of Commerce, Buncombe County, Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, Explore Asheville, and others to launch a business response survey. The purpose of the survey is to understand the storm's impact specifically on businesses across the region. The survey will provide valuable information specific to businesses' needs and will help shape our economic recovery strategies. For more information, please visit the Chamber's website at ashevillechamber.org. Additionally, the City of Asheville is requesting more specific community input on unmet needs as we recover from Helene. This feedback will help to inform the city's action plan for the expenditure of $225 million Community Development Block Grant for Disaster Recovery Funds, often referred to as CDBGDR funds. The first community meeting took place virtually on February 10th with approximately 50 participants. Visit publicinput.com/CDBG-DR for a complete list of upcoming CDBG-DR community input and information sessions. And I think those are on the screen. These meetings are excellent opportunities to share your voice and learn more about the opportunities available through this significant funding. And finally, while it is not a meeting to collect community input, we have one last event that will be informed by the input we have received to date. Tomorrow and Friday, February 13th and 14th, City Council will hold their annual retreat where they will receive an overview of the input we've received and an overview of our current budget situation. This information will inform a council discussion regarding Helene recovery priorities. The retreat will be streamed live on the city's YouTube channel and will also be posted to our website and YouTube channel for playback. We hope you will tune in and follow along. With the rain we are receiving, I know some of you may have concerns or be reminded of the natural disaster we are still recovering from. I want you to be assured that staff remains vigilant in monitoring weather and managing our infrastructure. This weather is also a good opportunity for all of us to remember the importance of emergency preparedness. As a practice, please ensure you have enough food, water, and medications for at least 3 days, and a way to stay informed through AVL alerts and other trusted sources. Preparedness makes us stronger. Stay ready and stay safe to help you individually and us collectively to become a more resilient community. In closing, I'd like to extend my continued thanks to the mayor and city council, all of our dedicated City of Asheville employees, our other partners in the county, state, and federal government, as well as our private and nonprofit partners who continue to work tirelessly on recovery efforts. I'll now turn it back over to Lillian.
Thank you. I did not find an excuse to show any pictures of my dog today, so we will turn things over to questions from the media who are joining us on a separate Zoom call. I think I saw Brookley is on. I don't know if you have questions regarding weather, Brookley.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get my phone off mute. I was just going to ask which areas in particular are you monitoring? I know that some new areas could potentially flood, so I guess what are the biggest issues or areas of concern that you have?
I'm going to bring Ryan back up to help answer that question for you.
So I think I got the question, do we have new areas of concern that we're monitoring? During the last rainfall that we had, we actually put crews out on the ground and looking at areas that were elevating in the amount of stream flow there due to debris that's in the water. And so those are some, and that's throughout the county, not just in specific, in one specific area. But we do have different areas that we are monitoring a little more closely, just due to there is no more stream banks and areas where we know that we have debris in the water that's not been able to be removed yet, that's causing this, not allowing the flow to continue, which is backing up in some of the areas. And so that's sporadically throughout the county in the Fairview, Swannanoa, Black Mountain, Broad River, Garen Creek areas that some, and Barnesville areas that we're paying additional attention to.
Thank you. And one more question. Do you have concerns about landslides and mudslides at this point?
That's something that we do have. We continually have concerns about those things. We are working with our federal and state partners to do some additional evaluations with those. One of the things, and usually we don't see that unless we have significant rainfall. However, with some of these areas that might be unstable, that might cause for some rainfall to do that. In talking with a lot of geological people, we have found that there's not a specific measurement for those. And so a lot of those areas is something that just requires an engineer to go out and check that. We have some that we are concerned with that might be threatening infrastructure or other areas that we monitor those as well. But nothing that we have that is very specific on that. It's just watching the ones that we are aware of that might have some movement that could cause some delays in that or issues.
Okay, thank you. And I know that you said that you're kind of monitoring like the flooding throughout different areas. You mentioned like 4 or 5 different areas of Buncombe County, but are there like any specific road names or specific communities that are more at risk of flooding with this rain event?
No, not specifically, because it's not an isolated weather event. This is an overall weather event. We're not seeing, as we did during Helene, where that it was that we had the rain that was steady in one specific location that was causing specific areas to flood. As this is a general event and it's also fast moving across the area, we're just looking at it in general. The biggest areas, the biggest things that we look at, and within that, where we have debris that might still be in the waterways, we also have areas where the debris have been removed from the waterways or the debris has moved down. And so that's where we're kind of just looking at that in general areas and being very mindful of that and going out and checking those areas.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any additional questions from our media partners or in the chat? Not seeing anything in the chat. As we close things out, thanks for joining us every week. We're still seeing thousands of folks tune in, and we want to be a resource for you. So if you have suggestions or folks or organizations you'd like to hear from, please email those to pio@buncombecounty.org. And we will look forward to seeing you back here again next Wednesday at 11 a.m. unless we see you tomorrow between 5 and 7 in Barnardsville. Thank you.